Hi, I'm Eva. Welcome to my channel. Trump's tariff policies have disrupted my business already. Exporting my products to North America has become significantly more expensive. I'm eager to see how this economic turbulence will unfold so that I can adjust my strategies accordingly as early as possible. Having closely followed almost every move Trump has made, I find myself increasingly skeptical of his true intentions. At this point, the issue doesn't seem to be about tariffs or bringing manufacturing back to the US anymore. There appears to be a deeper agenda behind the disorder he has created. In fact, it's possible he is deliberately pushing the economy toward recession, or at least fostering the fear of one, to serve an ulterior purpose. The real question is, what is his true motive, and will his endgame play out as he envisions? Once again, Trump has demonstrated his signature flip-flop approach. The US stock market has taken a hit. Trump's initial response was, "I don't look at the stock market." The next day, he admitted a transitional economic recession isn't out of the question, but the ground vision of MAGA is worth the hardship. Meanwhile, his cabinet officials dismiss concerns over rising prices, insisting that the impact on inflation is negligible. Their let-them-eat-cake attitude has left many wondering, has Trump and his wealthy allies lost touch with economic reality? But I tend to believe that, as a veteran in both business and politics, Trump fully understands the consequences of his actions. There must be a deeper reason behind the turmoil. First of all, he clearly enjoys playing the role of a disruptor and thrives on making others feel uncertain. He deliberately amplifies his unpredictability to create chaos, then seeks to emerge victorious from disorder. He treats tariffs as a form of stress testing. If market reactions are too severe, he adjusts to limit damage. More importantly, through this chaos, he applies huge pressure on business owners, keeping them on edge until they ultimately decide to invest in the US and localize their manufacturing. But will tariffs truly create an industry vacuum, sucking manufacturing back to the US and make America great again? Since the start of the trade war in 2016, China hasn't collapsed. In fact, it has grown stronger, developed new markets, and reduced its reliance on the US economy. As the saying goes, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Meanwhile, despite years of promises, US manufacturing still accounts for only about 10% of GDP, plagued by severe industrial hollowing out. Even if, as the White House claims, tariffs have pushed domestic steel and aluminum manufacturing utilization rates to 70%, those gains and jobs created have likely come at the expense of downstream industries and consumers. What's worse, the pandemic wiped out all the progress and dropped utilization rates below 50% again, and the US still relies on imports for specialized aerospace, pipeline, and other critical industrial materials after all the efforts. Of course, Trump blames all of this on Biden, but his tangible achievements so far are attracting investments only from Hyundai, Apple, and TSMC, which are exceptions driven by deep ties to the US. Most manufacturers either absorb the tariff costs or relocate to low-tariff regions, just not to the US. Simply put, Americans long ago abandoned manufacturing in favor of a service-based economy and the convenience of global goods. Rebuilding a broad manufacturing workforce isn't just difficult, it's nearly impossible. Even if Trump was serious about reshoring manufacturing, tariffs alone would be far from enough. It would require a massive systemic effort under an authoritarian-style government, enforced over multiple presidential terms, to have any real impact. Given the instability of US politics, most business owners would rather abandon the US market than take on such high investment risks. The myth of manufacturing returning home is looking more and more like a failure, or worse, a lie. It's very likely that Trump is well aware of people's doubts about tariffs' effectiveness. This time, he has shifted his strategy, using tariffs as a smokescreen. One moment, it's about reviving manufacturing. The next, it's about combating fentanyl, claiming drug abuse is America's top issue and that tariffs are needed to pressure China, Canada, and Mexico into controlling illegal flows. The more chaotic it gets, the less credible his explanations become. So what could be the real motive? As a politician, the most important thing is securing a voter base. A key part of Trump's support comes from workers and the farmers with relatively low incomes. They are not active in the stock market. A market crash doesn't affect them directly. Some might even cheer for it, seeing it as a blow to the wealthy ones. This is probably why Trump's team doesn't worry about the stock market reaction. Meanwhile, by warning off or even creating a man-made economic recession, the Federal Reserve will be pressured to lower interest rates, even if inflation remains high. Interest rates, unlike the stock market, directly and profoundly impact his voter base. Additionally, tariffs can protect certain industries and maintain or create jobs, particularly upstream sectors, although at a high cost and with negative overall economic consequences. But again, economic viability probably isn't Trump's priority. Those who lose jobs or money due to tariffs become the noble sacrifice for his voter base. Even if this is Trump's true motive, I doubt everything will unfold exactly as he plans, especially if he overestimates his control. Unlike his first term, retaliating countries are taking a stronger stance this time. Consumers took their frustration out on Tesla and Elon Musk, while China, Europe, Canada stood firm in defiance. Canadians began boycotting US goods, Europe moved to reduce its reliance on American markets, and China strategically targeted Trump's voter base, American farmers. Compared to the first trade war, tensions have escalated significantly this time. If American farmers can't sell their crops to China, the US agriculture sector faces immediate overcapacity. If the US can't import China's rare earth materials, its AI industry could grind to a halt. The intricacy and the complexity of this trade war make it extremely difficult for Trump to stay in control. I do hope this will force him to cool down the tension as soon as possible, because the longer this conflict drags on, the more small businesses like mine will become collateral damage.